Let's talk about what's been happening in crypto this week. On June 14th, we saw Bitcoin surpass all-time highs, breaking 120k in anticipation of Crypto Week. Bitcoin climbed above 120k with a high of roughly 123k before a slight correction. The pump started just before the kickoff of Crypto Week, a dedicated legislative period for crypto in the US. The pump was also due to institutional ETF inflows and continued weakening of the US dollar. During the same period, we also saw Ethereum and XRP rallying. Crypto-related equities and ETFs, including miners and exchanges, experienced strong gains as well. The total crypto market cap crossed 3.8 trillion. The overall market sentiment lifted due to anticipation and clarity for regulations. Crypto Week took place between July 14th and July 18th. The House was focused on three pivotal bills, which include the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. More details on those in a second. Companies like Coinbase, Circle, and Solana backed the bills. The bills aim to bring some much-needed legal clarity to the crypto markets. This will encourage institutional investment and innovation. Media coverage emphasized amendments for investor protection and tech advancement. On July 17th, the US House passed all three crypto bills. The Genius Act mandates monthly audits and full backing for stablecoins. The Anti-CBDC Act blocks Federal Reserve retail digital currency initiatives. And the Clarity Act establishes division of power between the SEC and the CFTC. Bipartisan support signals deeper political backing. Major crypto firms and retail investors applauded the move as a sign of progress in regulation. On July 15th, Arcadia Finance was hacked for $2.5 million. Arcadia Finance is a DeFi protocol on the Base network. $2.5 million were lost through an exploit. The attacker abused a rebalancer contract vulnerability to drain user wallets. Funds were moved through Tornado Cash to obscure traceability. Some of the tokens affected include USDC, USDS, Wrapped ETH, EURC, Aero, and WELL. The exploit was executed within a minute after contract deployment on July 15th. Arcadia recommended users to revoke permissions and pause contracts. Security firms and law enforcement are collaborating on forensic tracing currently. It's a good reminder that nothing in crypto is completely risk-free, especially the newer protocols. If you're using these protocols, you need to keep that in mind. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. On July 18th, we saw President Trump sign the Genius Act, making it federal law. The law requires stablecoins to be fully backed by US dollars or low-risk assets with public disclosure. It mandates licensing, audits, and consumer protection for issuers. The move was widely supported by major exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini. The market cap of crypto surged to 4 trillion following the signing. Some critics warn it may favor big firms and include surveillance risks. On July 18th, we saw Bitcoin climb to 123k following regulation momentum. Bitcoin briefly touched 123k, propelled by ETF inflows of approximately 2.7 billion. MicroStrategy also added another 4,000 Bitcoin to their balance sheets. Their total holdings is now around 600,000 Bitcoin. The ETF inflows were not only limited to Bitcoin, they're also influencing the broader crypto market. Token narratives like Dogecoin and Hedera gained momentum as well. Bitcoin briefly matched Amazon's market cap in asset class valuation. Institutions adding Bitcoin to their portfolios is starting to become a norm, which is very good news in the long term. Between July 13 and July 19, we saw approximately 1.35 billion in token unlocks. Some of the unlocked tokens include Pi Network, Trump Token, and Session Network. Large unlocks often put selling pressure on token valuations. Projects often notify on-chain before unlocks happen to encourage orderly distribution. More token unlocks are also scheduled in the upcoming weeks for AVAX, OP, and some others. On July 16th, BigONE exchange lost over 20 million due to a hot wallet breach. BigONE is a Seychelles-based exchange. No cold storage or private keys were compromised. Only hot funds were affected. The attack was due to a supply chain vulnerability after some server logic was changed. BigONE aims to fully compensate users via reserves and borrowed assets. The exchange paused deposits and trading until security was re-established. They're currently working with Slow Mist and other firms to trace stolen cryptos. Once again, it highlights centralized exchanges are highly risky. You should only be using centralized exchanges for buying and selling. Your long-term holdings should always be sitting in self-custody. Anyways, that's it from me today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of this week's crypto news? If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and follow the channel. I'll be uploading more soon. As always, thank you for watching and take care.